Jankans. I'm an MC from Northern Virginia, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about what I do. How to describe my style? My style is very rooted in the '90s, but it's very far from hip hop. I always I don't listen to a lot of hip hop. I grew up on a lot of '60s Motown and '50s doo-wop, and I love a lot of blues music and rock music. So a lot of that stuff is kind of incorporated in my lyrical content and in my word choice, and in my rhetoric and things like that. And I think that kind of sticks out and stands out a little bit when you hear my music. And a lot of my influences aren't from this era and this generation. And it's old school, man. It's old school. It's lyrical. It's in your face. It's aggressive. But it's real. It's definitely real. It comes from a real place. I think you can hear that when you listen to it. It's an orgasm in your speakers. We'll call it that. Man, there's a ton of songs I wish I was the owner of the writing of. As far as lyrics go, I wish I'd written "I Used to Love Her" by Common. I started seriously recording with the Hollows when I was probably 18 or 19 years old. It's been home base pretty much ever since. Like I said, we did a little snippet at Jankans Studios in Manhattan for Dumb Looks Are Still Free, and then the other portion of it was recorded at Depth Charge. But aside from that, everything's been done at Sleepy Hollow Studios. So, and will continue to be done at Sleepy Hollows for the remainder of what we're going to put out for the rest of it. We recorded this song called "Talk of the Town." It ended up being like an 8.5-minute song where I had these two 32 bar verses, and Beta had a big old 24 or something. And at the end, he ended up just talking for like a 5-minute intro, or maybe it was like a 10-minute song. It was a really, really long song. And Beta started talking on the intro on the way, outro on the way out, and he had handed me what I call Kenny. We'll leave it at that. If you're with it, you're with it. And he was like, "Yo, go take care of that real quick, and when I get done, we'll step outside and smoke a cigarette." And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." So I stepped over there to get things ready, and me and Mike started talking and chopping it up on the couch, and Beta kicked his verse, got done, and was like, "Yo, you ready to step outside?" And I was like, "Oh man, I hadn't even started any of what he'd asked me to do." And he was like, "Oh man, why you Bojangling on it, man? You always jangling on shit. I'm gonna start calling you." And he's like, "I'm gonna start calling you Jankans. I'm gonna start calling you Bo Jankans." And the name kind of stuck. And sure enough, he was like, as a joke, "Why don't we call you that on this track? We'll say K Beta and Mike Nice featuring Bo Jankans." And I was like, "Yeah, do it. It'll be funny." And sure enough, like that's how it happened, and it stuck. And the song can't. Like I said, we never released it or anything for real, but that became the song. That became the name. And once I started making progress with it, I actually wanted to change it a few years after I started rapping, but at that point we made too much headway and too much progress, and we went not too far, but we made enough noise on the East Coast. It was kind of too late to go back and start back over from the ground up, so we just kind of kept it, and I've been rolling with it since. So I actually think it's kind of funny, because I always kind of wanted to add an element of humor to my music, and it's kind of the person that I am, and not a lot of rappers do that nowadays, so I kind of feel it's important to have that element of like childish nature and joker to it, so jester, if you will. So it ended up working out. So that's how it started. That's how it came about, and still here today with it. We usually hit New York a few times a year. We usually play in Manhattan with some crews up there. Last time we were up there, we played with the Beat Nuts, who was awesome, and Doja Ray's was an awesome show. Shouts Sloppy Joe. Shouts to all those guys up there for holding us down. I hit the Carolinas pretty often. Last time I was up there, I played with Jambla, which is Ninth Wonder's label and crew. Played with Cesar Comanche a lot. He's a good friend of mine from the Justice League and that whole clique. And he's a really good performer, entertainer, and friend. And I've been blessed enough to come in company with those guys. So I do shows with them pretty often and get down Southern Entertainment and those guys. Southern Virginia has actually a really good hub for hip hop, headed by Maximento Records and Pomax. So I've been really fortunate enough to cross paths with them as well. And we exchange shows often. I bring them up north and they bring me down south. So I do a lot in Southern Virginia, and then of course up here in Northern Virginia. The DC market I touch pretty often. Maryland, doing a play actually next month in Maryland. And then where else we played? We played some stuff in West Virginia. A handful of other places. Just that whole Mid-Atlantic region is really what we try to aim for. Richmond, Harrisonburg, Blacksburg, college markets, JMU, Virginia Tech, that kind of stuff, VCU, Fairfax, JMU, George Mason. That's kind of our aim right there. If we can get at the college kids, that's where we want to be at, because that's where we feel like we'd mesh best. Guys that haven't checked it out, check out the Bo Jankans Dumb Looks Are Still Free. Me and Pat Cassidy at Alston shot that video together with Eric Hurt from Pillage and Plunder Productions. Extremely proud of it, man. It was something we threw together in 2 days. We had really no concept for the song, and the night before we went over to Pat's house. He was in town from Austin for the weekend, and we literally just got drunk off gin and wrote this storyboard for the video in maybe an hour, and shot it in about 10 hours the next day for just maybe $200. It was very cheap, low budget video, kind of DIY, and it came out really good. I was glad I was able to show some artistry on that and kind of go a different direction and do something different with it. And I think that's kind of why it did as well as it did. And it was something different, and people weren't really used to. And a word I kept hearing when people listened to it was refreshing, which was nice to hear, because that's what I look for when I'm searching on YouTube. It's just something different and something refreshing that someone hasn't seen before. So it's doing pretty well. And then we put out the Life's a Drug video recently as well with Mike, that we shot with Bizzo and Remy out in LA. So big shouts to them for coming through and shooting that for us on the strength of love. So thank you guys very much for that. And then we put together a small teaser for an In My Zone track that we did with Mocha Only from Swollen Members and Battle Axe Warriors up in Canada. Big thanks also to Mocha for getting involved, man. That's a dream come true to work with somebody like him, who I've listened to since I was a little kid. To get to work with him was an absolute honor and privilege. So we chopped up a few things like that to put together, and then me and Hasty Jadam just released. Hasty's another artist in the DC metropolitan Virginia area. And that is affiliated with Sleepy Hollows, and we put out a video called Mistakes for one of his songs that I sing the chorus on, and we shot that with Bad Weather Productions. So big thanks to Bobby Corntillo, my cousin actually, for coming through with Victor and shooting that video. So thank you guys so much. It came out really good, and I was excited about it. So, and thanks for everyone for checking it out. I know that one's nearing a few thousand as well. So just trying to continue to put it out. I know I'm working with my long time friend John Thorpe, who I'm really excited to get back working with. Me and him did some photos not too long ago, but he also does some incredible video work. So me and him are going to put together a few things coming up soon, which I think you guys will like. We're going to take 3 different videos, 3 different songs, a verse and a chorus, a verse and a chorus, a verse and a chorus, from 3 different songs, and put them together to make one kind of 5-minute collection or montage, if you will. And I think it'll come off pretty good. Right now with my style, I'm doing some different things, man. I'm mostly rocking the Sleepy Hollows gear that we've been getting printed up, and of course the Gorilla Fist stuff, man. The Gorilla Fist is a company based out of DC that's been sponsoring me for about 6 months to a year now. And they've been siping me with a bunch of free gear, so I always am out there rocking Gorilla Fist. So big shouts to them and Jeff and Forrest for coming through in the clutch. Yo guys, thanks for checking it out, man. Big shouts to Illuminati of A7 Productions for coming out. Truly appreciate you stopping by Sleepy Hollows and seeing what we're getting into. As always, big shouts to Bones, Kane Block, AC Jadam, and the rest of the Sleepy Hollows family. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of those, / at Bo Jankans. That's Jankans with all A's, Jankans. And of course, check us out at bojankans.com. If you haven't already gotten Realism as a free download, go get it now. I promise you it's worth it. It's free. Commercialism is going to be coming out on that site too when we relaunch it. Aside from that, YouTube, we're going to have a ton of stuff coming out on YouTube in the next few months, so check out for that. As always, man, thank you for the continued love and support. I truly appreciate it. It's all blessings back at you guys, so thank you. Alright? Peace. Big up Flat Fitty Hatwear. Luxury hatwear for the dome piece. Man, me and Jamie been rocking for like 3 years now, man. Like what? It's been like 3 or 4 years now. We've been duos. But he's a fantastic barber. He does that on the side. That's one of his hustles. He DJs. You know, he does music. He does bass and guitar lessons. He can fix golf clubs if you bend a golf club or like you chip your club. He can fix that for you. He's a writer. Yeah, he's crazy, dude. He's a fantastic dude. So he's shy. He doesn't like to brag a lot. So oftentimes I have to do his bragging for him. So I gladly do that. So yeah, he's the man. Yeah, he's my tattoo artist. So he did like a lot of this work here. He did this girl that I have on my arm. He did this hand coming out of an Om symbol. Both pieces were drawn by Brandon Boyd of Incubus, actually. It's one of my favorite artists. Tattoos on my legs, and then I got a big old Sleepy Hollows tree on my side to represent the clique and the camp. So I'm not going to show you too much, but you can kind of get the idea. And it goes all the way down there. It actually says Sleepy right there in the roots. But he did all my tattoo work. He's in a biker gang. I mean, dude's kind of a crazy mofo, man. He runs a snow cone stand in the summertime. He makes a little time to be my DJ on the weekends. So show this past Saturday at the DC Art Center in Adams Morgan. It's a really cool show, man. It's like a small theater. You could literally spit to the back wall from where you're standing on the stage. It's probably 60 kids there, 60 people there. I had like a 15-18 minute set or something like that. I did some freestyling on it. It's really cool. A contact of mine named Christian Hunt throws it, so he's a really cool guy. He's always down to support artists and get like real funny comedians out there, good acoustic acts, and he finds really good hip hop talent. So he had us out there. So that was the last show we did. Yeah, that was tight, huh?